So with a few days left into the year, we've just barely passed the 1 year anniversary from Marvel Rivals. I think it's that time where I talk about my desires and wishes for season 2, or my fighting game brain, for year 2 of Marvel Rivals. So some of the things that I'm going to be talking about are obviously just my opinion and what I personally look forward to seeing for the second year of this game's life. So overall, to summarize the first year of Marvel Rivals, at least how I feel about it, it was a strong year. I think it was a really great start year, and regardless of what I say about the game, I know my channel's filled with criticisms about it, but that's only because I care about the game, right? I love the game enough to where I made a channel and I just need to talk about it because I have several opinions about things and concerns that I just feel need to be talked about. And I know some of you who are watching could get tired of like criticism over and over again, and I could totally get it from your guys' point of view. I know a lot of people say you shouldn't be apologizing for your own opinions, but I'm not necessarily apologizing because of what I think about the game or any of my opinions at all. I'm more so apologizing that I guess that you guys run into my videos, and I guess that's not my fault either, but just the thought of, bursting somebody's bubble, that just doesn't sit right with me, even if it's my intention or not, which it obviously isn't. At the end of the day, I just want everybody to be happy with the game, because at least for me, my goal for this sort of channel is to include everybody as much as possible. I'm talking about people from all ranks. You could be bronze, silver, celestial, or even top 500. Also if you're playing on console or you're playing on PC or whatever. I just want to have a community where we can all collectively talk about the game we love, whether it be in a negative or in a positive way, with absolutely zero discrimination on, the person's rank or what platform they're playing on, what character they play. It's like, who cares at that point? We all play the game, we all enjoy it, we are keeping this game alive. So wouldn't we just all want to collectively just try our best to make this game thrive as much as possible? I would say yes. Anyways, I've been yapping for too much. Let's just get started with the video. So one of the first things I want to see for the second year of Marvel Rivals is, I know this is going to be a little bit controversial because we've gotten quite a bit of them, but I'm talking about more X-Men characters. I know, I think we've had a whole handful of X-Men characters already added this year, let alone in the base roster itself. But it's just like, I don't know. I think when it comes to Marvel, I think my favorite thing are X-Men. Some of the characters that I specifically want to see in the game are Sunspot, Cable, maybe Apocalypse, who knows? However, I can understand people wanting to see more of the Marvel universe that are outside of X-Men. This could be characters like Doc Ock, the Green Goblin, Mephisto. Oh, well, you know what? Which honestly reminds me, I hope we get more villains in the game. I feel like if you look through the roster, there are only so few villains compared to heroes in the game. I feel like it would be really nice to get some more villains to sort of balance out that ratio. And like, dude, please, for the love of God, can we just have Dr. Doom? That man is everywhere in this game. He's in the story, he's in the loading screen, he's there, but he's not playable. Oh my goodness. Hello? Yeah, this is him. Yep. Yeah. You see, this might be I'm lactating right now. So not to cut in too much into the middle of the video, but I just wanted to make a quick reminder to let you guys know that if you guys haven't liked, shared, and subscribed, to do so right now. I know I sound like a broken record saying this every single video, but you would be surprised with the amount of people that kind of do forget. I mean, heck, I sometimes forget myself whenever I'm watching a channel that just so happens to get, to my YouTube homepage and I'm not subscribed to them. But yeah, let's just get back to the video. The next thing that I wanted to talk about in terms of my hopes for the second year of Marvel Rivals is obviously the addition of PvE as well as more sort of hub mode like things. Obviously, we've seen a while back that NetEase has already confirmed that they're going to be sort of doubling down on PvE. I just personally hope that this one, has more than 6 months of dev time. It also just seems that they're going to work on the zombie PvE mode and just build upon that. So yeah, it came out in a state where it's just like, but as long as they have a foundation and they can now take their time and start working on things, I think we should be in a good state by next year when it comes to the PvE department. Because I can still very confidently say that the PvE as well as like the time score stuff, those are the things that casuals love, and those are the things that casual players will stick around for. And I think NetEase also knows this because of the reception of the PvE zombies mode. This is exactly what people wanted from Overwatch 2. The casual audience, that's what they wanted from that game. And obviously Blizzard had failed to deliver upon that, so there was like this big stink eye on them for, even till now. Now you can say that, oh, you're asking NetEase to repeat the same mistakes as Overwatch, and I'm like, no, that's not what I'm asking for, because that's not what's happening. NetEase has said, hey, yeah, we're going to do a little bit more PvE stuff, starting with building upon the Marvel Rivals Zombies mode. The only thing NetEase has to do to not screw this up is to not promise anything. because I think that is exactly what shot Blizzard in the foot, is that they're showing all this stuff. Oh, we're gonna have this, oh, we're gonna have that, and in the end none of that really came into fruition. But meanwhile, NetEase can learn from that approach and be like, okay, we're not promising like a whole story mode PvE, but they can be kind of vague and be like, oh yeah, we are bringing some form of PvE more and more next year, as well as building upon existing ones that we already have in the game. I think that is the way you do it. All this would be good, because then this would give casual players another avenue for, sort of to de-stress. Or even, you don't have to be a casual, you could be like a top 500 player, and it's like, oh, I don't want to play ranked today, but I also don't want to play quick play. Let me just, run around the New York Times Square hub, or let me just boot up some PvE with some friends. Effectively, I think that all is going to be very healthy for the game, and it's going to keep that player retention extremely high, at least what it's been compared to the last few seasons, because I still do believe that the content formula of, oh, new map, new character, new map, new character, just isn't enough to keep casual audiences retained. And honestly, I'm very glad that they know this. I mean, I hope they know this. Now, the next ask that I have for next year might be a little bit controversial. I know, keyword controversial here, and I'm not trying to be, but the current roster, we're going to be ending off with Rogue at Hero 45 characters total in year 1. That is incredible. However, a few days ago, I did make a video about speed over quality. There's just something where I just hope NetEase can be like, all right, we don't need to keep pumping out heroes. We've got a huge roster. Let's just, chill out a little bit, and maybe we do one hero a year, and like this time sort of improve the rest of the game, including current characters. They'll have more time to be able to rework characters that need it. For example, Black Widow and Black Panther. Because obviously if they're pumping characters left and right, especially with designs that could be flawed or numbers that are extremely overtuned or undertuned, it's just a lot to deal with, especially when it comes to balancing the game. And I've always talked about balancing the game a lot on the channel, so I won't go too detailed on that. But honestly, I just hope NetEase stops to smell the roses and realizes that if they just take a few seasons where they don't release 2 heroes at once, the game's not gonna just self-destruct. And funny enough, this kind of segues into my next point, my next big ask for the second year of Marvel Rivals, and that is, can we please get test servers in this game? Actual public test servers that come up only through certain periods that they need valuable data on. So for example, I was talking about the reduced hero schedule, where let's say one hero comes out every season. Now for the first month of the season, there could be like a trial period at some point within the month that players can try the new hero. And hypothetically, let's say that this trial only lasts a week, NetEase would be able to receive direct feedback on that character before officially launching them in the game. So for example, if this happened with Gambit, if Gambit had a playtest earlier before he came out, I don't think he would have been overtuned. NetEase would have legit gotten the memo about it, and by the time he officially released into the game, he probably would have been tuned down. But because he wasn't, because we're on that 2 hero schedule, there's no room for NetEase to take in proper data or even have time to sort of get feedback from players other than when they already push out what they're pushing out. And I don't think that's really healthy for the game at all. That especially screws up with a lot of balancing stuff, but there can be so much cool and useful things they can do with a test server, be it testing characters, be it testing new modes, testing other PvE modes. Heck, NetEase could probably even test out role queue in the game to see if it even works or if players even like it. They could do this test in this test server, have a whole bunch of players, obviously try it, and obviously with that feedback, they'll be able to take into account like, hey, should we move on with this or not? Now, whether or not he won't role queue in the game, that's a whole different discussion, but I'm just giving out examples. But yeah, to summarize that, I just think NetEase doesn't have a window of opportunity when it comes to taking in actual information and then being able to sort of apply that information with what they put out in terms of content from then on. I think that is my biggest ask from NetEase coming into the second year of Marvel Rivals, because it's like, dude, I feel like we don't need 2 heroes a season. And I know to a lot of people, especially people that don't really care about balance, like casuals, they'll be a little bummed out, but I feel like there's this excitement of like hero trials. I know Overwatch does it, but the thing is, Overwatch gets like a new hero every like 2 seasons, so that's like 4 months. We'll still be getting 1 new hero every single season. It's just that I personally feel like this formula would do so many wonders for the game, especially when it comes to current characters in the game that are struggling or that need tuning or reworks, and would allow NetEase to make sure not to put out another Gambit or another Daredevil, because we all know how slow NetEase is when it comes to sort of adjusting needed nerfs and even needed buffs. Now, on to the next topic, it's going to be tanks. And no, this isn't me specifically asking for, we need more tanks. I guess it is, but more so specifically tanks that can rival both Magneto and Emma Frost. Because from my understanding from other people's experience, including my own, a lot of people do not like to face up Magneto and Emma Frost constantly over and over again. It gets really boring and it really kind of forces a certain play style that not everyone is keen on going. For example, Emma Frost. I've always said this in the past that Emma Frost by design is a strong tank tank with strong fundamentals, and that's what makes her really good, including her grab. Why don't we just get more tanks like that, you know? And I know, I guess it's like a whole bunch of variations of Emma Frost running around, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. See, the thing with Emma Frost is that she's an answer to a problem, that problem being dive, or at least the overwhelmingly high amount of it. We just need a lot more tanks that can be the answer to other problems within the game. So what I'm saying pretty much is we need to have a tank that is a proper counter to Emma Frost. I'm sorry, I know I'm not big on counters, because then it just becomes counter swap, and to me that's like one of the big things that drove me away from Overwatch. But I feel like unless NetEase deletes Emma Frost permanently from the game, I feel like she's still going to be the reigning supreme tank alongside Magneto, you know, and I'm sure not a lot of people are gonna like that. But yeah, let's get some crazy tanks that do completely different things than what we have currently in the roster, especially to shake things up for those in the higher level. I'm sure you guys are sick of seeing Emma Frost and Magneto 24/7. Heck, I'm sure you guys in the metal ranks or below are also tired of seeing Emma Frost constantly over and over again. So for year 2 of the game, I hope NetEase does do something about it. I don't know, that's just all my take on it. What do you guys think? What are you guys looking forward to seeing for the second year of this game? What would you guys like to see NetEase implement or change? Please go ahead and let me know in the comment section below. I do go through every comment I scroll through, because a lot of you guys provide a lot of good insight, not just to me, but to other people in the comment section as well. And to me, that, again, like I said before in the beginning of the video, that's kind of the foundation that I want this channel to be, is that, you know, we regardless of a lot of boundaries that we may have, be it platform, rank, we can still talk about the game we love, and we could all still provide some insight to each other without getting so prissy about it, you know? So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. I know I hate doing the YouTube thing, but I have to. I'm so sorry. And yeah, I hope you guys take care, and please be kind to each other. Peace.